Daily Dose Learning has been sponsored by the Kordvani family. Nishmat Ephraim ben Yedidia, Ruach Hadanait Neshima B'Gan Eden. Yesterday we stopped off in the middle of the second Mishnah, in the middle of Mishna Berachot, Mishna Bet. We went through the part where it lists for us and it lays out which parts of Shema are considered between the paragraphs. Every time a bracha ends before a bracha starts, or Shema Yisrael. When you say Shema Yisrael, that's not the end of a paragraph. At the end, Ubish'arecha is the end of the paragraph, and V'hayayim Shamoa. Then between V'hayayim Shamoa and Vayomer, after you finish Vayomer, when you get to the next bracha, Emet V'yatziv or Emet V'emunah, there is no break over there. You cannot pause over there. And you're so on, that's considered. There's actually two opinions on that. There are some who say that when it says that's not a break, that's the same thing as if you're in the middle of Shema Yisrael. It's the same thing. And then there are others who said that no, that it's even stricter than being in the middle. You should not pause for anything over there when you're between those two words. But Rambam says it's considered as if you're in the middle of Shema. If there's someone you fear or you honor and they come to you, then you can answer them. But if you're between paragraphs, any person that comes, you can answer any person. And then we got to Amar Rabbi Yoshua ben Korcha. We started speaking about Rabbi Yoshua ben Korcha. Rabbi Yoshua ben Korcha, he lived a very long life. We brought the story. Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, when he was the Nasi, he came and he asked him for a bracha at the end of his life. He said, you should reach half my years. This is bracha Rabbi Yoshua ben Korcha. He was very respected in his generation. We don't have that much from Rabbi Yoshua ben Korcha. There is not that much in the Mishnah and Talmud from his teachings. So what does he say here? Lama kadma Shema l'vayayim shamua. It's a bit of Haggadah. Why are we reading Shema before? Why is the Shema Yisrael in the order that it is? It does not go in order of the Torah. Shema is in Parashat Vayetchanan, and V'hayayim Shamoa is in Parashat Ekev, but then suddenly Vayomer goes back. Vayomer is from Parashat Shelach, that's from Sefer B'midbar. So why is the Shema in the order that it is? So we brought the first thing that he said. First thing is that a person should accept the yoke of Shamayim. The first thing is we state and we declare be'emunah shelema, our belief in one God and that He guides the world and that He is omnipotent and He has complete authority and He has complete power and that He is our God. That we accept Him upon Himself. We accept His laws and His Torah upon ourselves. This is the first thing, this is the foundation. And that's why we start with Shema Yisrael. Ve'achar kach yikabel alav al mitzvot. Where does V'haya come in? Where is V'haya step 2? Because V'haya is where it tells us, Im shamua tishme'u el mitzvotai. If you follow my commandments, Hashem says, trust that you're going to be rewarded. Trust that I'm going to take care of you. And if you don't, and you start worshiping other gods, you start worshiping other value systems outside of the Torah, just know that God is going to be angry. That's a part we read silently. Like Sfaradim always read it silently. It shouldn't be. This is not what we're hoping for, that God gets angry on us. He'll stop the heavens from bringing their bracha down. If you follow the God, I take care of you. If you don't, you don't. So we see what are the consequences if a person keeps the Torah or doesn't keep the Torah. And we accept that. We accept that we understand that Hashem's divine providence is guiding and is answering. If we keep the mitzvot or don't keep the mitzvot, if we keep the Torah or don't keep Hashem, it makes a difference. It makes a difference in how Hashem will react to us. Not like those who think, oh, you don't have free will, what you do doesn't matter, It doesn't make a difference. Every avon, every sin a person makes, it doesn't matter. What's the difference? No one's gonna get hurt. Nothing's gonna happen. No, the Torah always say Hashem cares about what we do. It makes a difference what we do. If you make the right choices, if you make the moral choices, Hashem cares for that. It makes a difference. A person makes immoral choices, a person makes the wrong choices, and Hashem answers to that as well. So that is paragraph 2. The first one is we affirm the belief and the faith, and number 2 is the acceptance of the mitzvot and understanding the consequences of the mitzvot. Now, why is V'haya im Shamoa before Vayomer? It says V'haya im Shamoa leVayomer, sheV'haya im Shamoa noheg vayom u'balayla. Vayomer eno noheg ela bayom. It says because V'haya im Shamoa, it speaks about all the mitzvot, both in the day and in the nighttime. Vayomer, the main mitzvah it talks about is tzitzit. And tzitzit, the purpose of wearing tzitzit is to remember, and remember all the mitzvot of Hashem. It reminds us to keep all the mitzvot, but tzitzit mainly applies during the daytime, doesn't apply during the nighttime. Because that's the main mitzvah, so since Vayomer is only about the mitzvah tzitzit, which applies during the day, it doesn't apply both the day and nighttime, so V'haya im Shamoa comes before Vayomer. There are those who wanted to say, it depends. You remember we had the earlier Mishnah at the end, I don't know if you were here, at the end of the 5th paragraph, we saw a debate over what it means, Maskirin Yitziat Mitzrayim Balelot. The Mishnah said that it depends how you read it, but there were some who said that earlier on, they originally would only read 2 paragraphs of Shema Yisrael. The 3rd paragraph was only added later, so some say this is what it means over here. Vayomer, it was from the earlier time when they read Shema Yisrael, only 2 paragraphs. But according to the Rambam, and the way he read the earlier one, where he said they weren't looking to find a way to start reading the 3rd paragraph, they were only looking for the source for it in the Torah, that you have to read the 3rd paragraph. They always read all 3 paragraphs. So all it's saying over here is that it's the mitzvah of tzitzit, which only applies at nighttime. Okay, let's do Mishnah Gimel, which is for today. A few more very important details. Hakoreh Shema v'lo hishmiya le'oznai. We should have one of you guys. You want to read? Chawa. Gimel. Hakoreh Shema. You guys have to read. This is for you.
Shema v'lo
Hishmiya
le'azino.
Yetza.
Yetza Rabbi Yossi Omer
Lo
lo
yetza.
yetza.
So we have a machloket here. Hakoreh Shema, someone who is reciting Shema, is reading Shema, v'lo hishmiya le'ozno, and he didn't hear the words. He didn't say it loud enough that he should hear the words. He said it very quietly, or he mumbled it very quickly. Did he fulfill the mitzvah of saying Shema Yisrael, or did he not fulfill the mitzvah of Shema Yisrael? So we have 2 opinions. The first opinion, the Tanna Kama, the first opinion says, Yatza. He fulfilled his mitzvah. Rabbi Yosef says, Lo Yatza. Who is Rabbi Yosef? Rabbi Yosef was another one of the students of Rabbi Akiva. Always between him, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Meir, they're always having machloket between them, though Rabbi Yosef was one of the most respected and one of the most accepted. Whenever there's a machloket between Rabbi Yosef and Rabbi Yehuda, or Rabbi Yosef and Rabbi Meir, halacha is like Rabbi Yosef. Halacha is always like Rabbi Yosef. He was one of the more accepted for halacha of Rabbi Akiva's students. He was the teacher of the next Nasi, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, who wrote the Mishnah. Rabbi Yosef was one of his main teachers. He was known as a peacemaker, and he was known as being very careful with his words. Rabbi Yosef, he used to say about himself, he said something, sent this tremendous lesson. Rabbi Yosef said, "Miyamai lo amarti davar v'chazarti la'achorai." He said, never in my life, he said, did I ever say something, did anything come out of my mouth, and I had to look behind me and see who's behind me. I never had to look at who's around me. Did I say something that somebody else shouldn't hear? He says, "Miyamai lo amarti davar v'chazarti la'achorai." I never said something and then had to look back and see who's listening, who's not listening. Anything I said, it was something that I was not afraid for everybody to hear. Right? This was the way that he kept himself in his speech. He was also, as like many of the Chachamim, a lot of times there's a very cute story and funny story. Many times they had to interact with some of the noblemen or noble women of the Goyim around them. They would ask them questions about the Torah. So one time it said there was a Roman noblewoman that came to him and then asked him. He says, what does Hashem spend all his time doing? She asked him, what does Hashem spend all his time doing? And Rabbi Yosef said, you know what he spends his time doing? Hashem, he spends his time making shidduchim. He spends his time as a matchmaker looking and trying to find who is fit to match with who in order to make shidduchim and to make marriages. This is what he spends his time doing. And the woman says, this is a joke, you're making fun of me. He says, is it difficult to make a shidduch? It's difficult to put someone, to put two, a man and a woman together and have them live together? It's not so difficult. Hashem has to spend all of his time with shidduchim. He says, yes, he has to spend all of it. He says, look what I'm going to do. He says she was a noble woman. She had many, many servants. She had many servants and maidservants. She says, let me take 100 of my servants, the man and the woman. I'll put them together. You see, it's not a big deal. You make matches, they'll live together, they'll be husband and wife, and they'll start a family. So he goes, she puts 100 of the servants together. It's the Midrash, true story. Maybe a true story. It says it's a Midrash, depends on your view of Midrashim. But he puts 100 of them together. The next day they will wake up in the morning. This one has his eye knocked out. This one has bruises on his arm. This one they got into a fight. This one had to go to the hospital for this. This one had to go to the hospital for that. She goes back and she says, I see your wisdom. This is a very specialized task. And it's something worthy of someone like Hashem to spend his time to put two people that are able to have shalom between them, and to start a family, a healthy family for their children. Right? It takes siyata dishmaya. It takes help from Shamayim to bring the right man and right woman that can live together. So this was the story with Rabbi Yosef. But here, when Rabbi Yosef goes against, in general, when he goes against the Tanakh Kama is Stam Mishnah, it's called. It's sometimes, you have the opinion of the Mishnah, but it doesn't say whose opinion it is. It's called Stam Mishnah, or Tanakh Kama, which means that we don't have his name, we don't know who it was who said it. Rabbi Yehuda Nasi brought the opinion as quote-unquote the standard opinion. It was the opinion of that. So if Rabbi Yosef is going against the standard opinion, we follow the standard opinion. So if someone read Shema Yisrael and he didn't say it loud, he fulfills the mitzvah. He fulfills the mitzvah. Not like Rabbi Yosef. Rabbi Yosef said over here, Lo Yatzah. In this case, we don't follow. On the next one, we're going to follow him. In this one, we don't follow him. The halacha is Yatzah. Even if someone did not read it loud, that he could hear himself, he fulfilled the mitzvah. But remember, we said the rule. Yesterday, two days ago maybe. No, 2 days ago. On Monday we said, Im kiven libo yatsa. Whenever the Mishnah uses the language yatsa, right? What does yatsa mean? It means that's not the proper way you should be doing it. If it happened to be someone was not doing it the proper way, he fulfilled the mitzvah, then okay, b'di avad. After the fact, he fulfilled the mitzvah. He doesn't have to repeat Shema Yisrael. But you see from here, the Chatchila, the way a person is supposed to read Shema Yisrael, is you should read it loud enough that you should be able to hear yourself. Okay? Not loud enough to disturb everybody around you, not loud enough to make a choir and confuse all the people around you. It's not like blowing the shofar. But a person has to say it loud enough that he can hear himself, that he is reciting every word properly, and that he's reciting every word correctly. The words have a much deeper effect whenever you are able to hear yourself. Because, And also, it's the same when a person wants to learn how to read. Anytime someone comes to me, I've had taught young children, I've taught adults. What's the way a person learns how to read when he wants to learn Hebrew? He has to read it out loud. He has to read it, not to read it to himself, not to read it with his eyes. Koreh for us, when we say Koreh in Hebrew, Koreh of the Mishnah, Koreh of the Torah, Koreh means you're reading it. You're reading it out loud, not you're reading it with your eyes in English. In English you say you read a book with your eyes. How well do you digest? A person has to know how to pronounce the word. He has to know how to enunciate. And also, when a person reads and he's able to hear it, he digests it and he learns it much, much better. Why? Because he's using more of his senses. Right? If a person reads and he only looks with his eyes, it's visual for him. He digests, his mind, the brain, processes it visually. When a person reads it, the brain processes it visually, but also audio visually. Through the ears, you also process it. And that way, it becomes embedded in the person's mind. That you never forget it, and that it always stays with you. Anytime a person processes audio visually, both with the ear and with it, then it really, a person's mind digests it, he learns it, and it stays with him. But not if a person just reads with his eyes. So here you see Koreh Shema, you should read it out loud. Now what about the next one? Also, a case which is not a good case, but let's see, does he fulfill the mitzvah or no? Kara velo dikdek beotioteha. Person read Shema Yisrael, but he was not careful in enunciating the words, in pronouncing every word carefully and correctly. This is very important in Hebrew. This is always important to Am Yisrael. The foundation, the first level for every Jew, the first level for every person is read it correctly. Read it properly. Right? You go on your chazan, you don't read it, we bring you back. You have to read Shevanach. Or sometimes you have a kamatz chatuf, you have a kamatz katan. Right? Even though you have a kamatz that it says you see some people it says v'shivtecha v'betecha u'lechtecha v'derech uvshoch becha uvkumecha. It's a kamatz. You say uvshoch becha, not uvshach becha. Yeah, you say Shema Yisrael. You don't say Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael. It's a Shevana. Baruch Hashem, we have some sidurim today that they lay out for us the differences, Shevana and Shevanach. And what a lot of the commentaries point out also over here is that if you see a word, there are many times we have this in Shema Yisrael. You have two words that the last word, the last letter of the first word and the first letter of the second word, they're the same letter. And if a person is reading too quickly, and what happens is he swallows two words as one word. So you have Bechol Levavecha. You have to read it as two words. Not to read Bechol Levavecha. You don't read Bechol Levavecha. It's not one word, there's two words. You have to, I love Hashem my God, Bechol Levavecha. Two words, Bechol Levavecha. There's Sidurim that now they point out, they instruct you, make a separation. Right? That's the problem. A person has to read carefully. You have to pronounce it correctly, not to swallow the whole Shema Yisrael. Right? So let's say a person, and he didn't realize. Rabban Chaim criticizes a lot of times. You see someone goes up to read a bracha, or they're reading the Amidah, they're chazan for the Amidah, or they're reading Birkat Torah, and one of they say, Baruch Atah Adonai. Baruch Atah Amonai. It's Baruch Atah Adonai. Who is Donai? Donai in the Gemara, there was a shoded, there was a robber, a highwayman. His name was Donai. Baruch Atah Adonai. Donai. You have to say every word carefully and properly. Every word carefully and properly. As I heard one Rav once say, Tit'aneg al kol milah. Enjoy every single word. You know, there's some people that whenever they eat their food, right? You know, they don't just swallow all their food. They say every piece. They're savoring every single piece, enjoying every single piece they're eating, thanking Hashem for the pleasure that they're able to have especially you have a gourmet food, an expensive food, you make sure every piece you savor. You don't just swallow it quickly. Shema Hashem gave us this incredible mitzvah of Shema Yisrael. Every word we have to savor. Every word you have to enjoy, not to swallow all of it. No more time. Okay, so Rabbi Yosef Omer Yatza, Rabbi Yehuda Lo Yatza. This was machloket Rabbi Yosef and Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yosef said, you still fulfill the mitzvah. Rabbi Yehuda said, Lo Yatza, you did not fulfill the mitzvah. Here, halacha is like Rabbi Yosef, Yatza. You still fulfill the mitzvah, but you shouldn't do it. Now I'll just do the last two very quickly. Hakoreh lemafreya lo yatza. If you read it out of order, you do not fulfill the mitzvah. You have to read it in order. There's no machloket. Everyone agrees. Shema has to be read in order, not out of order. And the last one, kara v'ta'a yachazor limkom sheta'a. If a person made a mistake, he knows that he made a mistake in reading Shema Yisrael. You go back to the place where you made the mistake. If you don't know where in the paragraph, you go back to the beginning of the section, or you start from the beginning of Shema Yisrael, from wherever you knew that you said properly. This happens. Okay. Amen.